toxic masculinity is killing everyone. Repeat, toxic masculinity is killing everyone. Repeat, toxic masculinity is killing everyone. Says if he's got a terrible case of toxic masculinity.
Yes.
He's on his deathbed dying from toxic masculinity.
Right.
And he says, bam, I'm a woman now. Does it cure him?
Well, I would hope so. He would be the better gender. So I would hope so.
Women are better than men, stronger and more evolved. I don't know about stronger mentally, he means, not physically.
Can endure.
Yeah, I mean, this woman just, you know, had a turkey come out of her crotch. So.
Have you done that? No. I win. Pretty cool. It's not a competition, but we are more evolved. But he says the planning in advance with women, the difference is, like, for men, they don't think down the road the next step. Like, I'm always watching what we're going to run out of, if we're going to be in a certain part of town, trying to knock things off to-do lists. I'm always more efficient, more planned.
Thinking ahead.
Always one step ahead. Max is, like, really present in the moment, but we always run out of toothpaste on his watch.
My grandson is going through, like, an Oedipal phase where you know, Oedipus is a play that was written back in the ancient Greece. And it's a story about a man who basically kills his father by mistake and marries his mother by mistake, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So Freud came up with this idea of the Oedipal complex, which he says that children of a certain age unconsciously want to sleep with their mothers and murder their fathers.
There's a movie...
Okay, it's unconscious, but if you watch a little boy, I watched my grandson, okay? I'm not saying he wants to sleep with his mother yet, although he's in her bed a lot. He's 5.
What do you think should happen in cases? I was consistent about John Conyers. I said, he's denying it. It needs to be investigated. It's serious. But we got to get the facts, and we got to get to the truth. Is that the right position to take?
I think that we do absolutely need to do that, but step number one is that we believe women. We have decided as a society that we take women's word, and then we investigate and we move from there. Jessica, I want to ask you, because you and I are both women. Do you really think that that's fair in every case, to take a woman's story as gospel and not ask any questions? The Democrats not believe in due process? Because I can sit here as a woman and say, I don't think it's right that every woman is just believed. Her truth is just taken as the ultimate truth without an investigation. Think of how powerful that is. Trial by social media. Let's get over this.
Do we have to believe all the women? That was the question I posed before.
I'd like to believe all the women.
You'd like to, but do you have to?
I think we should.
You believe these allegations to be true?
I believe the women, yes.
He should step aside. Number one, these allegations are credible. Number two, he should, if he cares about the values and the people he claims to care about, then he should step aside.
Tonight, as the national conversation about sexual harassment grows louder, President Trump breaking 12 days of silence on Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore. On the White House lawn, answering questions for the first time, defending the candidate who was accused of sexual misconduct with teenagers. The president saying Moore denies it all. Tonight it comes as veteran TV journalist Charlie Rose is fired, his co-host speaking out. We begin with ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega.
Mr. President. On his way to Mar-a-Lago for Thanksgiving vacation, today President Trump broke his silence, finally answering questions about Roy Moore.
Mr. President, is an accused child molester better than a Democrat? Is an accused child molester better than a Democrat?
He denies it. I mean, if you look at what is really going on and you look at all the things that have happened over the last 48 hours, he totally denies it. He says it didn't happen. And, you know, you have to listen to him also. You're talking about, he said 40 years ago this did not happen. So, you know.
This is a Fox 10 News Alert. And welcome here to News Now. We start you out with a bombshell of new information with the Roy Moore saga here. The Roy Moore accuser now admitting that she forged part of the yearbook inscription attributed to the Alabama Senate candidate. This is just breaking within the last 15 minutes here.
There's no due process. If you're accused and you're a man, you're accused, you're done.
This is Venezuela, Cuba. This is every third world banana republic. Let's not have due process. Let's not ask anybody any questions. Let's not have any chance to have a hearing. Let's just lynch him. Because when we get done lynching him, we'll be so pure. We'll feel so good.
The new Puritanism in the Democratic Party, that's a switch.
The moment that we find ourselves in, frankly, have a national revenue when it comes to sexual harassment. And so, again, a broad 30,000-foot way, does the president believe that he has a credible role in leading this conversation? And can you speak to the specific steps this White House has taken to make sure the women who work here feel like they are in a comfortable environment to talk about these things?
I think that the president treats, certainly as a woman myself, I've never felt anything but treated with the highest level of respect and been empowered to do my job. And I think that's what I've seen the president do day in and day out since we've been here and during the campaign. And so I think that's a pretty good start and a pretty good example on that front.
We're back now at 8:10 with what could be the end of male-dominated society. Do women now rule? Here's NBC's Kevin Tibbles.
Well, fellas,
Denny, what do you got, Denny?
This is the end. The end of men, that is. Are men the weaker sex?
Yes.
If you vote for somebody on the merits, one of my merits is I'm a woman, and I think that makes a big difference in today's world.
You call women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account...
Let me ask you one last question.
Yeah.
If men are this huge problem and they're like overbearing and they're just too masculine,
yeah.
Then why does every measure show that young women are outstripping young men in achievement? They graduate from college in much higher numbers. They get to high school too. They make a little more for their first jobs. They kill themselves less. They die less often from drug ODs. Why is that? If men are keeping women down, why are women doing so much better than men in this country?
Well, women are doing so well, and that's what's causing the toxic masculinity. They're not happy about it, and that's why the murders have gone up since 2011. We've had
so I
more
wonder,
mass
has it occurred to you maybe to help instead of browbeating men and like mocking them for being less powerful and saying, well, sure, of course you are. And you've got tenured losers like this woman we are quoting from Clutchtown University or whatever it's called saying, men are horrible. Shouldn't women be helping men to be better?
I think women are, but the way they're being raised, maybe it's just too late by the time we get them. We need to raise them right. Boys can't be boys.
You've confused me completely.
Let's ask Brian about this.
Yes, Brian.
This is a great segue.
Brian, do you want to see your mother's boobies?
We'll start with the easy question rather than the ethical complex. Like, what do you think that women are a superior sex?
Final question is, do you think women have better judgment? Do you think they're stronger under pressure? I mean, like, is there some quality of being a woman that makes you a better president, potentially? Because she kept suggesting that. I never figured out what she was talking about. And I'm not against a woman president, by the way. I'm not arguing that.
I do. I think that women are sort of, as in the way that anybody who is not typically in a position of power, women are more self-aware of the dynamics that are at play, right? Women are more aware of, both the ways in which women treat men treat women, blah, 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 right? So I think that necessarily, particularly in the roles that she's had as Secretary of State, where you have to experience diplomacy, understand where other people are coming from, I think that makes her inherently more empathetic.
We came, we saw, he died. Did it have anything to do with your visit? No, I'm sure it did.